Hello and welcome to News Plus and Viewer Television. My name is Zainab Ibrahim. David Umahi, the Minister of Works, yesterday said that the federal government requires $35 billion to commence concrete road construction, stating that 16% of materials needed will be from steel and 30% from cement. Umahi disclosed this during a meeting with Shuaibu Audu, Minister of Steel Development in Abuja. Umahi, in a statement issued by his chief press secretary, Orji Uchenna, stated the Ministry of Steel Development will play a major role in the road infrastructure revolution plan envisioned by President Tinubu by providing more than 16% of materials needed for the construction of Nigeria's roads and concrete pavement. He said that tapping into the opportunities in the steel industry would create jobs and wealth for Nigeria's population, create a global market, and encourage industrialization. According to Umahi, the street industry is the bedrock of Nigeria's industrialization and the backbone that stimulates national development and provides an economic boost for the industrial growth of any nation. Troops from the Nigerian army rescued a total of 31 kidnapped victims during a clearance operation in Sokoto State yesterday. The army, in a statement today, said the resilient troops of the Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Hadarin Daji carried out the operation. It added that the troops carried out the operation under the command of the General Officer commanding 8th Division Nigerian Army, Sokoto, Major General Godwin Mutkut. According to the statement issued by the Army, Mutkut and his men have continued to intensify onslaughts and conduct series of clearance operations to terrorist enclaves in its areas of operations in the northwest. All the discovered terrorist hideouts were destroyed as the terrorists abandoned their captives and fled from their camps before the arrival of the aggressive troops. The troops also proceeded to Goboro village, where one female kidnapped victim was rescued as the terrorists and bandits fled in disarray due to the troops' firepower superiority. The Defense Headquarters has debunked the death rumors about the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, making the rounds. Spokesman of Defense, Brigadier General Gusau, who debunked the fake news, noted that the attention of the Defense Headquarters was drawn to an unfortunate publication by an online newspaper alleging that the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, passed away yesterday. He emphasized the fact that the report is unfortunate, unethical, and lacks credibility. To put the record straight, Gusau stated that the CDS, General C.G. Musa, is alive and healthy. The Chief of Defense Staff, who just returned from an official assignment outside the country, has since resumed work with more vigor to continue with his uncommon leadership style to prosper the armed forces of Nigeria. The online newspaper have since retracted the news story and offered its unreserved apology to the CDS, his family, and the armed forces of Nigeria. The House of Representatives Committee on Finance has resolved to carry out a status of inquiry on the National Lottery Trust Funds over non-remittance of revenue generated for year 2022 and 2023. Chairman of the committee, Honorable James Faleke, gave the ruling in Abuja during the ongoing 2024 medium-term expenditure framework Physical Strategy Paper interactive session where National Lottery Trust Fund, Federal Road Safety Corps, and Lagos International Trade Fair Complex Management Board were invited. The Faleke-led committee, after examining the documents brought before it by the National Lottery Trust Fund, queried the rationale behind the spending of the entire 6.3 billion naira revenue generated for 2022 and 2.5 billion naira revenue generated for 2023. The committee, while citing relevant sections of the Act, says since the agency is being funded by the federal government, it is expected that it remits 100% of its revenue generated back to the federal government.
492,996,588.13 from one source for permit holders. That's what they remitted. And then you expended 2,492,996 58813. That's what you are saying. And you put performance 100%. Please switch off your mic, sir. Status inquiry on lottery trust fund. Status inquiry means that we're going to bring in an external auditor, okay, to audit your accounts, your books, all your income and your expenses from day one to date. That's status inquiry of National Assembly. If we are found, we will send a report on the plenary, and if you are found guilty, you may to refund and then any other punishment thereof.
Executive Secretary of NLTF, Bello Megari, while defending the agency's expenditure, noted that the agency is in deficit of 252 million in 2022.
Yeah, 2023, current year.
Current year.
Yes.
As at October.
As at date.
Okay. Okay.
The update is as at Friday, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
And then you spent how much?
What we have spent so far is about roughly the same amount.
The committee also requested that the Lagos International Trade Fair Complex Management Board reappear on Tuesday due to the fact that it failed to provide relevant documents needed. Plateau Youth Liberation Movement, in collaboration with Plateau Youth, a non-partisan group, has called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to intervene on the ongoing governorship case for peace and stability of the state. The group, while briefing journalists in Jos, raises security concerns following the appeal judgment in favor of the APC. Nasiru Saidu completes the story.
The unity of the state. As a people with the responsibility of ensuring peace, viral and progressive society, we find it very expedient to speak out at this point in the annals of our political journey. The state had in the last few months enjoyed relative peace, and this is due to the concerted efforts of the state government and security agencies. But we are worried over the turn of events and threats flying all over the state due to the recent judgment of the appeal court on elections in the state. As we speak, security report reveals that the state is sitting on a cake of gunpowder because of these judgments. And as concerned Plateau citizens, we do not want our state to return to its dark days. Over the years, Plateau had its fair share of security challenges and loss of lives and property due to electoral violence. This is why we are calling on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to use his renewed hope mantra, which simply means hope for every Nigerian, irrespective of political inclination, to address these concerns. We want the president, being the father of all, irrespective of political party, to wade into the matter to save democracy and ensure rule of law prevails at all times.
The group quoted former President Obasanjo and former Vice President Atiku on the plot by APC in denying millions of Nigerians the right to vote candidates of their choices.
We totally agree with the recent comment of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, where he says, and I quote, "Abnormal and total unacceptable for a few persons called judges to overturn the decisions of millions of voters during elections." We equally agree with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar for saying that the ruling APC has turned the Nigerian judiciary into a cash and carry, one where politicians who don't participate in primaries are named as candidates, while actual winners of elections are sacked for flimsy excuses. So, we are appealing to National Judicial Council, NJC, and other critical stakeholders in the judicial system to intervene with a view of ensuring that the right thing is done.
They have also called on relevant authorities to investigate member representing Panshin Kanke Kanam, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Yusuf Gagdi, on his comment following the appeal court judgment.
We call on relevant agencies to investigate Honorable Yusuf Gagdi, the member representing Panshin Kanke, and Kanam Federal Constituency for his inflammatory utterances that preceded the appeal court judgment. The boasting of Gagdi simply suggests a deep-seated compromise on the part of the judiciary, with high possibility that money had exchanged hands to till the judgment in favor of the APC.
The appeal court has already been passed in favor of the APC. Members of this group pray that President Tinubu will intervene ahead of the Supreme hearing for peace and stability of the state. Nasru Saidu, Viewer TV News, Jos.
And now let's go on a quick break, and when we return, News Plus continue.
The Presidential Election Petition Tribunal has dismissed an application filed by the Independent National Election
Viewer television, now airing in FCT Abuja. Abdamala.
From Bauchi, following the order of
Youths in Bauchi under the
Boji. Boronu. Gombe. Plateau. Taraba. Viewer TV. News from a vantage point.
The game of polo, it's my life. Polo is good. Though I just started and I'm still learning the basics. But I hope to be a pro in this game, and God being by my side, I know everything will be fine. I started 4 months ago. I started stick and ball 4 months ago, though I attended the riding course in Pakistan. I've learned the riding basics, but the game of polo 4 months ago, I started stick and ball. Every day we mount on the horse, we pray. And once we come down, as you can see, I was about ending and I fell from the horse. It's a normal thing. In horse riding, if you don't fall, you've not started yet. So you need to train. You can see I'm sweating, I'm eating banana, it's part of it. You must train, you must eat well, and you must learn properly. I've chosen polo to be my own sport, and I've always looked up to people like General Kazil Faya, General MSA Aliu, Colonel Waibelu, and General Laka. A few of them, I've looked up to these people. These are great polo players, and they've always encouraged me to play the game of polo.
Welcome back from that break. You're still tuned to News Plus on Viewer Television. Godwin Emefiele, former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, has been granted bail by the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Maitama, Abuja. He was granted bail of 300 million naira after being arraigned on a 6-count charge bordering on a procurement fraud of 1.2 billion naira. Emefiele had pleaded not guilty and applied for bail from the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The court noted his application and adjourned to November 22 for ruling, while ordering his remand with Nigeria Prison Service. In his ruling on Wednesday, Justice Hamza Muazu stated that the charges and the case are bailable offenses. He directed that Emefiele must produce 2 sureties who have landed property in Maitama district of the FCT as a condition for his bail perfection. Emefiele is expected to remain in the Kuje Correctional Center until his bail conditions are met. The trial will begin on November 28. The National Youth Service Corps members have been advised to make good use of the skill acquisition and entrepreneurship courses they've learned while in camp for self-development due to the economic situation of the country. The Commissioner for Human Services and Social Development, Kaduna State, Rabi Salisu, gave his advice at the closing ceremony of Batch C Stream 1 Orientation Camp exercise in Kaduna.
On several trainings on different type of skills. We urge them all to take these skills not only during their NYSC period, that is 1 year period, but also to take it as part of their life, day-to-day activities. Due to the economic situation we are in the country, in any developed country, people that go into skills are the ones that are developed, especially if you can set example of China. You see people that they are graduate but they don't depend on government work. So I urge them all to see these skills not just as a temporary something, but it is something that they can improve their lives and the life of the community they have been posted to, and even going back to their various states, they can teach other young adolescent girls and boys that are coming up just like them.
I was opportune to go into agro allied, most especially fish farming and rest of it. And I know it's going to be beneficial to the country. And I believe of a truth, I'm going to practice it since it's not something that is time consuming. Even while I'm still serving, I can still be going to my place of assignment towards evening or night. I can still be practicing my fish farming. And I believe it's going to also help me.
I actually learned tie and dye, which is called adire, and I've always wanted to like learn the skills. So coming here, I've learned like the introduction part of the adire, and maybe from here I will start up my own adire brand and start producing adire to sell and make some cash for myself.
Coordinator of the NYSC Kaduna State, Hassan Taura, also gave the Corps members timely orientation as they embark on their 1 year service.
Settle down quickly and make yourselves relevant in the community. Respect the culture and tradition of the people and do your best to identify with their problems and aspirations. I want to caution you against unauthorized journeys. You should avoid unnecessary journeys to minimize the risk of road accidents.
All Corps members have also been urged to emulate their predecessors in community development service, which forms a key agenda for the scheme. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital in Bauchi has recently made another remarkable breakthrough by carrying out a successful kidney stone laser surgery, known as laser lithotripsy, a surgical operation which does not require cutting the patient's body, but rather using the laser machine to reach the stone and break it down into pieces. Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Dr. Yusuf Jibrin, while briefing journalists shortly after the operation, says this breakthrough is as a result of the latest developments recorded by the hospital in terms of acquisition of the state-of-the-art facilities and expertise. Our Bauchi State correspondent, Hawal Hassan, completes the story.
This is the first kidney stone surgery using a high-powered laser machine going on in the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital in Bauchi State, Northeast Nigeria. It took the combined efforts of a team of medical doctors and other health professionals, led by consultant urologist Dr. Everest Azado, to accomplish this Herculean task which lasted for hours.
We just passed an instrument into the bladder, up the ureter, saw the stone, fragmented and dusted it with a laser took out the parts that were big. We have left a tube there, which is going to be removed in about 2 weeks' time, and the patient can start doing his normal duties. By tomorrow, actually, the patient can go home.
In those days, patients with this kind of illness were referred to other places outside Bauchi or even abroad, owing to lack of facilities to carry out this kind of operation. But today, the story is different.
Now we are able to get a facility and the expertise, and we are able to bring some experts from Abuja that perform the first operation together with the team of our doctors that are here and other supporting doctors and medical personnel that assisted them and doing this particular operation.
That surgery ordinarily will involve making a big cut on the patient's side, okay? And then you get to the stone, take out the stone, sew it up, and then close up. The patient is going to have a big wound, probably being hospital for about 10 days, and then he's going to go home, still nursing his wound. And if you know anything about wound healing, it will take about another 3 months for him to be able to really be able to go about his normal duties.
This kind of surgery, which is called laser lithotripsy, is achieved as a result of the acquisition of state-of-the-art facilities by the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital in Bauchi.
This teaching hospital, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Teaching Hospital, Bauchi, we've acquired a state-of-the-art laser, Quanta Holmium laser 100. It's what we call a high-power laser, and it can do a lot of things. You can use it for general surgery, you can use it for gynecology, you can use it for urology. Today we're using it for urology.
That brought this procedure closer to us. Before, as I mentioned earlier, many people have to go even outside the country to India, Europe, Saudi Arabia to get this kind of services. But now it's nearer to us and at a very affordable cost to the patient.
Vice Chancellor of the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, who was there to witness the surgery, says as partners in progress in the area of research and development, the institution has been supporting the hospital in many ways and will continue to do so.
Now the issue is that we have facilities, and university is meant to be for teaching, research, and community development. And this is Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital. And if it's teaching hospital, you understand that there must to have different way of solving issues. And we know that we're also in Bauchi, and whether it's a teaching hospital or the university, we are working for the people of the Nigeria. So whatever we can do to assist, I think we can do that.
With major milestones such as this, medical treatment outside Nigeria will be reduced. Awal Hassan, Viewer TV News, Bauchi.
The Kaduna Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission has arraigned Sunday Ekele for committing fraud worth 2,930,029 naira only. The commission arraigned Ekele yesterday, November 21, 2023, before Justice Doris Kubo of the Kaduna State High Court, sitting in Kaduna, on one charge bordering on criminal breach of trust and misappropriation. The suspect, however, pleaded not guilty to the charge when they were read to him. In view of his plea, prosecution counsel E.K. Garba applied for a trial date and sought the defendant to be remanded in Kaduna Correctional Center. Meanwhile, counsel to the defendant, Usman Abdullahi, urged the court to grant bail to his client. After listening to the court's counsels, Justice Kobo granted the defendant bail in the sum of 2 million naira only, and the surety a like sum. According to Kobo, the surety must own a property in Kaduna State with a certificate of occupancy, which should be verified by the court registrar. Justice Kobo also adjourned the case to January 25, 2024 for further hearing. A Nigerian man has traveled to Saudi Arabia using bicycle to perform Hajj. The man started his journey from Jos, the Plateau State capital, in 2021 and get to his destination by early 2023. Our correspondent Nasiru Saidu reports that the man embarked on the trip because he could not afford a flight and visa ticket to the Holy Land.
This is Alhaji Aliu Abdullahi Obobo, popularly known as Legend from Allah. He is 45 years. He shared the story of how he traveled to Mecca on a bicycle, a trip that seems impossible in the modern day.
And I lived Nigeria 2021 February 13. I went to Saudi Arabia with this bicycle. I flew Niger, Chad, Sudan, with the Red Sea to the Saudi Arabia. And I bought this, so I went to Saudi Arabia. People that they need this, my bicycle that I use it right from Nigeria to Saudi Arabia. Then bought this bicycle 200,000 riyal. I said I cannot sell it. I want to bring this bicycle back to my country, Nigeria. I'm a part of my country, Nigeria. I said that anybody that will win the president of Nigeria, I will bring this bicycle to him to put it in our museum in Abuja. My mission of going to Saudi Arabia, I don't have the money to go to Saudi Arabia. And I love Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And every day I'm praying to God, God, I don't have the money to fly on air.
Getting to Saudi Arabia, Alhaji Ali was offered about 40 million naira to sell his bicycle, but he turned down the offer.
They need my bicycle in Saudi Arabia. I said, I cannot sell this bicycle in Saudi Arabia because I love my country, Nigeria. And they bought this bicycle in Saudi Arabia, 40 million. In Saudi Arabia, Riyadh is 200,000. I said, I cannot sell it.
Presently, Alhaji is planning to embark on his next trip to Lagos by foot from Jos, a journey that can take him days before arriving.
After 21 days, Allah will harap me in Lagos, inshallah. I have that strength to do it, and Allah will help me to do it, inshallah. And what I want them to help me to take this bicycle to put it in our museum in Abuja.
As nearly impossible as this story sounds, looking at how far Saudi Arabia is from Nigeria, this man has done an amazing thing in Nigerian history. Nasru Saidu, Viewer TV News, Jos.
Away from Nigeria, Israel and Hamas announced a deal on Wednesday allowing at least 50 hostages and scores of Palestinian prisoners to be freed, while offering besieged Gaza residents a 4-day truce after weeks of all-out war and the first major diplomatic breakthrough in the war. Palestinian militants will release during a 4-day truce 50 women and children kidnapped during their October 7 raids. After weeks of Qatar-brokered negotiation, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet approved the truce accord today after a near all-night meeting, in which he told ministers this was a difficult decision, but it is a right decision. The cabinet sign-off was one of the last stumbling blocks after what one U.S. official described as 5 extremely excruciating weeks of talks. Hamas released a statement welcoming the humanitarian truce and said it will also see 150 Palestinians released from Israeli jails. Today, France has welcomed the Israel-Hamas truce deal, hailing the work of Qatar in securing the agreement and saying it hoped the French nationals will be among the hostages released. 8 French citizens have been missing since the October 7 Hamas attack on Israel, and for the moment, it is not known if all of them are being held hostage. Among the hostages were a French adolescent boy and also an adolescent girl for whom France had received proof of life by video. She said, Mayor Habib, a French deputy whose constituency have French nationals abroad, includes those in Israel, told Jewish community broadcaster Radio J on Wednesday that 1 or 2 French people were among the hostages to be released. Welcoming the deal as a moment of real hope, Colonna held particularly the work of Qatar in clinching it after weeks of torturous talks. Colonna also said that Israel must do more to protect the civilian population in Gaza. Dr. Congo's army has vowed to arrest and punish any soldiers in contact with the FDLR militia, citing zero tolerance for wrongdoers, regardless of rank. The FDLR is a descendant of Rwandan Hutu extremist groups that fled into the Democratic Republic of Congo after carrying out the 1994 Tutsi genocide in Rwanda. The DRC is regularly accused of working alongside the Mali Hutu FDLR in its fight against Tutsi-led M23 rebels in turbulent eastern Congo. In a video statement on Monday evening, Congolese army spokesman Sylvain Ekenge said that all soldiers, regardless of rank, are strictly and unconditionally forbidden to maintain contacts with the FDLR, a Tutsi-led group. The M23 has seized swathes of eastern DRC since launching an offensive in late 2021 and driven over 1 million people from their homes. The M23 is backed by Rwanda, according to UN experts, as well as several Western states, including the United States and France. And that is how we wrap it up on News Plus today. Stay tuned for more of our program. I am Zainab Ibrahim.